Hello. It's your favorite Texas Realtor, Tephanie Hargrove, Manor, over at Infinity Realty. Today, I would like to discuss preparing your home to be sold. First things first, you want to make sure that you get rid of any furniture that is not serving a purpose. If you have excess pieces in your home, you want to remove those pieces. You can either sell them or place them in a storage unit, but definitely you want to remove them from your home to avoid having too much clutter in the space. The second thing that you would need to do, especially if you have children and maybe they have toys kind of strolled all across the home, you want to find a space. And what I recommend to many of my clients who have toys all over the place is to get an actual storage bin or a trunk or something of that nature that they can actually store the toys in, especially when the home is being prepared to be shown to potential clients, or potential home buyers. So you want to make sure that you get rid of any sort of toys, put them in a space, hide them away. Okay? Third thing that you want to do is open doors. Be sure to open all of your interior doors before taking any kind of photos and showing the property to potential home buyers. It also helps for all the photos to kind of flow together so that potential buyers are able to understand how the home is actually laid out and to make it more easily maneuver through, okay? When showing, you definitely don't want any big surprises. That means that if you have a room that has historically been your catch-all room or whatever, maybe it's a room that you normally would not have guests in, you want all of the spaces to flow freely. You don't want a potential home buyer to open a space and it's full of clutter, it's not organized. So just make sure that you prepare the home prior to any showings and of course prior to any photos actually being taken. The next thing that you want to do is, and this is really important and a lot of people tend to forget about doors. Clean your doors. The fourth thing is cleaning your doors, wiping them down. And the reason I say that is because you got to keep in mind that, think about it, doors are used very often. We open them, we close them, we look outside of them. We tend to touch doors more often than we touch almost anything else in the home. So make sure that the doors are clean. So wipe them down. And in many cases, especially if you've been in the home for a while, you may even have to put a fresh coat of paint on that door. Or if it's an exterior door, maybe a wood door, maybe you need to put a nice coat on there to give it some shine. Okay? One of the fifth things that you need to do in preparing your home for sale is, especially when you're about to show the home to a prospective home buyer, you want to make sure that you turn on all the lights in all of the rooms. And the reason that you want to do this is because you want to make sure that the home is nice and bright and it's not dark and gloomy, so that people can actually see the home for what it is. So most people aren't going to want to go into a dark room, so turn on the lights, make it more welcoming, and let's get that house sold. It also helps the home to be brighter. Let's see. The sixth thing, you want your home to smell good, right? You don't want to go into a home and it's smelly, it's musty, it has food odors and things of that nature. Because we live in our homes when we live in our homes. So we cook. I know we cook in my house. But normally when you walk into a home, especially when it's lived in, maybe someone just prepared a meal or whatever, you don't want your potential home buyers to necessarily come into your home right after you've prepared your dinner and now it smells of garlic and onion and beef or chicken or whatever it is that you're preparing that night for dinner or for lunch or what have you. So make sure that you freshen up your home, make it smell good. Use a diffuser. A diffuser is a great way of having the aroma of some fresh scent to flow through your home. So get a diffuser. Diffusers are wonderful. I love diffusers. Citrus fresh, clean, soft smells are probably the best smells that you'd want to have flowing through your home for potential buyers. Most people like the smell of fresh citrusy or fresh, just clean, soft smells. I know I do. Those are my favorite scents. So I'm sharing them with you. The seventh thing that you definitely want to do is take some really good photos of your home. The first impression of your home is going to be a lasting impression, and it could be a first and a last impression for potential home buyers, which means that client, if they're walking through that home for the very first time, you want to set the stage, set the bar when it comes to homes that are for sale, so that you can compete with whoever's next door to you or who's down the street or on the next street over from you that may be trying to sell their home too. So take some really good photos, get those buyers into that home so that it can get sold quickly. Make sure they're good. If you are taking pictures of a bathroom, you want to make sure that you close the toilet seats. You do not want your toilet seat up, or not the toilet seats, but the lid to the toilet. It just makes for a better presentation when people are looking at bathroom photos. You don't want to be in the photo. So if you're taking a bathroom photo and there's a big mirror in the bathroom, make sure that you take a photo so that you're not in the photo at the end of the day. Figure out a way to do that, okay? The next thing that you want to do to prepare your home for sale is to fix up your landscaping, fix up your yard, give your home curb appeal. So if you've been letting the weeds grow, it's time to get rid of those weeds. Curb appeal is really, really important. When someone drives up to your home, what do they think when they drive up to your home? Because I'll tell you, a lot of times, I know what I think when I walk up to drive up to a home, and that home, the outside of that home looks a hot mess. I'm like, oh goodness, if the outside looks like this, the inside probably looks even worse, and I may not go inside of that house. So just be really, really careful in determining, your outside decor, if you will. So you don't want a whole lot of junk. You want to declutter the front of your yard. If you have a lot of stuff, a lot of planters and stuff, sometimes less is more. A lot of people think that they need to have items in every corner of the house. Believe it or not, less is more, especially when you're trying to sell your home. You want people to be able to see the space, see the front of your house, see how they can live in that space too. Because, I know a lot of times we want to put our personalities into our home, but keep in mind that these people may not like your antique favorite little knickknacks and stuff that you have lying around on the outside of your home, or maybe they don't like certain planters. So just minimize the amount of things that you have out in your front yard. Remove the planter, as many planters as you possibly can, and make it really nice and clean and fresh. Freshen up your shrubs, cut them, cut the shrubs. If trees need to be trimmed, you want to trim your trees. You want to edge your lawn, cut your lawn if it's overgrown. If you have weeds growing in the front yard, get rid of your weeds. You may want to pull them up or have someone come out and treat them so that they will die. But just give it a really nice, clean feel. Also, windows are another thing. Believe it or not, I know I don't like cleaning windows, but cleaning windows is a necessity when it comes to selling your home. So go ahead and clean those windows. Get outside of your home and clean them. I know with a lot of the newer homes, you can actually pull your window panes inside and actually clean them without having to go on the outside of your home. And that's really great for someone who has a two-story home where maybe you don't have a ladder, or maybe you can't afford to pay someone to come out and clean your windows. So, but cleaning your windows is definitely really important when it comes time to sell your home. The ninth thing that you want to do is clear off your countertops. Declutter, declutter, declutter. Declutter, 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 okay? So get all those excess things off of your countertops. So for instance, I know in my house, because we are always eating really good, you may have a loaf of bread that sits over in the same spot every day. It may not necessarily go in the pantry because you're constantly getting it in and out. Fruit. I know I have my fruit sitting on my countertop. Well, when you're trying to sell your home, I recommend removing that excess stuff, maybe putting it into the pantry. especially if you're home during the day where you can remove it, especially if someone is coming to view the home during that hour where maybe you're not there to remove it while you're there. So maybe early in the morning after you prep your breakfast or you've gotten your lunch out of the refrigerator, go ahead and put some of those things away. Put whatever you need to in the refrigerator, put those excess things in, especially food items, put them into the pantry. And then you can always pull them out when you're back home and you're prepping your meals or you're getting ready to eat again. But clear off the excess things that are on your countertop, on top of your refrigerator. Just make the space free of clutter and give it a fresh, decluttered look. Okay? And we've already talked about this, but clean your windows. That's the 10th thing that I really want to talk about, but I've already said a lot of that. But clean your windows. Remove dust, wipe them down on the inside, the window sills. Make sure they're nice and clean. Your blinds, dust them. If you have window treatments up, make sure that they're nice and clear of dust bunnies and all of that stuff that builds up over time that maybe we don't take care of on a regular basis. Well, before you put your home on the market, you definitely want to do that, because people can be very, very sensitive to those things and may not really want to move forward with buying the home, because they're like, okay, if they're treating this part like this that people can see, what are they doing to the other parts of the home? So just be very cognizant of that and prepare your home to be sold. Clean it up, declutter it, freshen it up, clean those windows, clean the window sills, clean, freshen, and make it a space that someone else wouldn't mind living in. Those are my 10 tips to preparing your home to be sold. I hope these tips were helpful to you. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to reach out to me. I am more than happy to help you in any way you possibly need help, okay? My number that you can reach me at any point is 512-589-7947. You can text or call me at that number. I hope you have a wonderful day. Goodbye.